U.S. indicts Win Party leader Azruddin Mohammed and his father. HGP Nightly News. In a significant legal development, the United States has indicted Azruddin Mohammed, the leader of the Win Party, and his father, Nazar Mohammed, in a South Florida court. The indictment includes serious allegations of mail and wire fraud, gold smuggling, and money laundering. This legal action follows sanctions placed on both Azruddin and Nazar Mohammed by the U.S. Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, in 2024. The sanctions were part of broader efforts to combat financial crimes and illicit activities. May Thomas, a former permanent secretary at the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Ministry of Labor under the People's Progressive Party, has also faced similar sanctions from the United States. An indictment represents a formal accusation presented by a grand jury, which charges an individual with committing a public offense that is punishable under the law. This story is still developing, and further updates will follow as more information becomes available. Court update. Sentences for littering offenses. In a recent court ruling, Mr. David Sayers and Junior Smith have been sentenced to community service for littering in a public place. Sayers will serve 3 weeks of community service, while Smith has been sentenced to 6 weeks. The court proceedings for the remaining individuals involved in this case are scheduled to take place tomorrow. This decision underscores the importance of maintaining public spaces and reinforces the commitment to environmental responsibility within the community. Wanted. Police seeking Nevin Eversley in connection with murder of Gavin Major. The Guyana Police Force has issued a wanted bulletin for Nevin Eversley, also known as Chino, in connection with the murder of Gavin Major, which occurred on September 4, 2025, at California Square, East Ruimveldt, Georgetown. According to police reports, Eversley, age 30, is wanted for questioning in relation to the fatal incident that claimed the life of Major. Investigators believe that Eversley may still be in the Georgetown area or possibly hiding out in nearby communities. Eversley's last known address is listed as Lot 49, Front Road, East Ruimveldt, Georgetown. The Guyana Police Force is urging anyone who may have information about his whereabouts to contact them immediately at any of the following numbers: 225-6940, 225-8196, 226-7476, 225-2317, 227-1149, or the nearest police station. All information provided will be treated with the strictest confidence. The wanted bulletin was released by the Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, of the Guyana Police Force as part of ongoing efforts to locate and apprehend the suspect. Bartica man fined $595,000 for DUI and traffic violations. Lorenzo Singh, a 33-year-old resident of Bartica, faced severe penalties after appearing in the Bartica Magistrate Court today. He was charged with driving under the influence, as his breath alcohol level exceeded the legal limit, in violation of Section 39(1) of the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act. Singh pleaded guilty to the charges and was fined $400,000 or sentenced to 3 months in prison. Additionally, he faced charges for breach of insurance, contrary to Section 3(1) of the Motor Vehicle Insurance Third-Party Risk Act, for which he was fined $25,000. The court also imposed fines for 2 other violations. Obscured ID mark on motor vehicle, fined $130,000. Unlicensed driver, fined $40,000. In total, Singh was ordered to pay $595,000 in fines for his offenses, underscoring the serious consequences of traffic violations and driving under the influence. Friendship driver charged with DUI. Nazio Ford, a 28-year-old resident of Lot 87, 2nd Street, Friendship, East Bank Demerara, appeared in the Bartica Magistrate Court today before his worship magistrate Tariq Muhammad. He faced charges for driving a motor vehicle with a breath alcohol level exceeding the legal limit. Ford pleaded guilty to the DUI charge and was fined $250,000 or sentenced to 3 months in prison. Additionally, he was charged with breaching the condition of prescribed fitness for his vehicle, resulting in a fine of $10,000. This case highlights the ongoing efforts to enforce traffic regulations and ensure road safety in the community. Charity laborer charged with unlawful wounding. Dwayne Williams, a 35-year-old laborer from Charity Squatting area on the Essequibo coast, has been charged with unlawful wounding following an incident involving 30-year-old Nigel Benn on September 30, 2025. The case was presented on October 3, 2025, at the Anna Regina Magistrates Court before His Worship Magistrate Ravindra Mohabir. Williams pleaded not guilty to the charge. Bail was granted in the amount of $300,000, with the condition that Williams does not approach the victim within 100 feet while awaiting trial. The case has been adjourned to October 27, 2025, for the disclosure of statements. Body found at Court Stone Back Dam. Calvin Johnson, a 50-year-old Guyanese male working as a security guard for a Russian company at Court Stone Back Dam, Cuyuna River, reported a grim discovery to the Bartica police station around 11:30 a.m. today, Monday. Johnson stated that at approximately 10 a.m., a female known as Uma visited the compound and informed him that a male Venezuelan national was found dead on the roadway. She mentioned that the man had allegedly been beaten by other Venezuelan nationals. Upon receiving this information, Johnson proceeded to the scene, where he observed the man lying motionless, covered with a multicolored hammock, with only his face visible. He took photographs of the scene before returning to his camp to report the incident to the police. Detectives from the Bartica police station are currently en route to the scene to conduct an investigation. Further details will follow as the situation develops. 19-year-old sentenced for break and enter and larceny. Aaron Wilson, a 19-year-old gold miner from Bartica, has been jailed after pleading guilty to multiple charges, including break and enter and larceny, simple larceny, and break and enter with intent to commit a felony. The charges were filed under Sections 229A, 228, and 164 of the Criminal Law Offenses Act, Chapter 801. Wilson was arrested on October 3, 2025, and appeared at the Bartica Magistrates Court today at 11:06 a.m. before His Worship Tariq Muhammad. During the hearing, he pleaded guilty to all charges. The court sentenced Wilson to 1 year for each of the 3 charges, to be served concurrently. The offenses were committed against Roy DeFreitas, Vashish Dramillion, and the St. John the Baptist Primary School in Bartica. Minor charged with inflicting grievous bodily harm. Darius Manson, a 39-year-old miner from Wax Creek, Upper Mazaruni River, has been sentenced to 3 months imprisonment after pleading guilty to the charge of inflicting grievous bodily harm on Junior Matthews. Manson was arrested on October 2, 2025, and the charge was filed today, October 6, 2025, by a rank from Kamarong Police Station under Section 50 of the Criminal Law Offenses Act, Chapter 801. He appeared at the Kamarong Magistrates Court via Zoom before His Worship Magistrate Tariq Muhammad, where the charge was read to him. Following his guilty plea, Manson received a 3-month prison sentence for his actions. Statement from Mr. Azruddin Mohammed on allegations. In a social media statement, leader of the We Invest in Nationhood Party wrote to my fellow Guyanese, "I have noted the allegations peddled against me and my family. While there are legal constraints on how much I can share at this juncture, I am permitted to say this much in the interim. The leadership of the PPP has been advancing a sustained narrative against the Mohammeds aimed at discrediting us. Make no mistake, this is not just a personal attack. This is political. This is a fear tactic. The PPP has seen what is possible after a mere 3 months of campaigning. They know what is at stake, and they are reacting accordingly. My emergence into Parliament after campaigning for only 3 months sends a clear message of how quickly our movement has changed the political landscape in Guyana. It was declared that WIN has 16 seats, though that allocation does not reflect our numbers on the ground. We are grateful because this result is a remarkable achievement on entry. The PPP knows what is at stake in 2030, and they want no challengers in Parliament. The PPP holds a majority. Why then are they stalling to convene the 13th Parliament and swear in the duly elected opposition? This administration misused public funds, $300,000 US, to hire a US lobby firm whose sole purpose is to smear and marginalize political opponents. Specifically, to target the Mohammeds and paint a false narrative about us. Now you know the purpose of the nearly 63 million GYD wasted on a lobby firm, political persecution, and that money could have been used to uplift the people. Fearing the momentum seen at the last election and the cry of the Guyanese people for change, they are doing everything possible to stop me. The constant attacks, whether directly or indirectly, are aimed at weakening me, with hopes that if they hit hard enough, I will cower and retreat. The truth is, if I rid myself of my political ambitions, these attacks will cease. But I, Azruddin Mohammed, leader of We Invest in Nationhood and leader of the opposition, elect, reaffirm my commitment to you, the Guyanese people. I will continue to stand up and fight, no matter the cost. Please know that for the love of country and on the principle of service over self, I stand resolute. I will not be silenced. When the wicked came to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though they encamp against me, I shall not fear. To my supporters, thank you for standing with me. Police and GGMC investigate mining disputes at Toraparo. The Guyana Police Force and the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission, GGMC, are investigating two related incidents stemming from a land mining dispute in the Toraparo area, Region 7, which occurred on September 23 and September 30, 2025. The first incident on September 23 involved miner Ronaldo Alfonso's personnel and Rangers Marvis Hillman and Edson Carter. This altercation, captured on video, reportedly escalated to the alleged discharge of firearms by Alfonso's security team. A second incident on September 30, also documented on video, featured security agent Leon Wilkinson, Ranger Edson Carter, and security personnel Randy Allen discussing ongoing tensions with Julith George, GM Alfonso Mining, and operator William Hill. In response, police ranks from Region 7 initiated investigations, leading to the arrest of all involved individuals and the seizure of relevant firearms. To prevent further conflict and maintain order, a joint operational team comprising police and GGMC officers is on site monitoring the situation. Man dies in accident at South Dakota Circuit. Police are investigating a fatal incident that occurred on October 4, 2025, around 5:30 p.m. at the South Dakota Circuit racetrack in Timehri, East Bank, Demerara. The collision involved a Honda racing car driven by 49-year-old Andre Rockford and a motorcycle operated by 58-year-old Richard La Tsuesa. Initial inquiries revealed that Rockford was testing the race car when he negotiated a turn and noticed La Tsuesa's motorcycle swerving in and out of the car's path, leading to a collision. The impact caused La Tsuesa to fall onto the track, resulting in significant injuries. La Tsuesa was picked up by Rockford and taken to the Guyana Defense Force Medical Center, where he received initial treatment before being transferred to the New Diamond Regional Hospital. Unfortunately, he succumbed to his injuries at 8:15 p.m. the same day. The police have since escorted La Tsuesa's body to Memorial Gardens Funeral Home, awaiting a post-mortem examination. Rockford was arrested, and a breath alcohol test showed no trace of alcohol in his system. He is currently at the Matawini Police Outpost assisting with the investigation. Woman killed by detached lorry wheel on Quarantine Highway. iNews Guyana reports, a tragic incident occurred on the Quarantine Highway in Region 6, East Burbus Quarantine, on Sunday morning, resulting in the death of 65-year-old Donna Punch. She was struck by a loose rear wheel from a lorry while preparing to get into a car with her husband, Pastor Leroy Punch, to attend a Sunday service at the New Jerusalem Church of Alness. Pastor Punch recounted that the couple was running slightly behind schedule when a church member informed them that a car was ready. As they hurried to the vehicle, tragedy struck. "I heard a big truck coming," Pastor Punch recalled. "When I looked again, I saw this big wheel coming. My wife didn't see it because she was taking her umbrella down. By the time I noticed, the wheel was rolling straight toward us. I barely ducked out of the way, but it hit my wife." Initial reports indicated that the detached wheel came from the rear of a 10-wheeled lorry. The driver later suggested that the lug nuts may have loosened, causing the wheel to detach. The incident occurred just before a turn in the road, allowing the wheel to continue moving straight into the punch's path. The matter is currently under police investigation. Truck drivers charged with causing death of contractor at Riverstown. 2 truck drivers have been charged in connection with a fatal 3-vehicle collision that resulted in the death of 28-year-old contractor Kevin Backus from Queenstown, Essequibo Coast, on June 4th along the Riverstown Public Road, Region 2, Pomeroon, Supinam. Appearing separately before Magistrate Ravindra Mohabir at the Anna Regina Magistrates Court on Friday were Jairam Suku, 44, from Maria's Lodge, and Yugeshwar Prasad, 29, from Colombia, both drivers implicated in the crash. Suku was charged with causing death by dangerous driving under Section 35(1) of the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Act. Initially, he was not required to plead, but after the application of the Administrative of Justice Act, AJA, by the prosecutor, he pleaded not guilty. Represented by attorney Onassis Granville, Suku was granted bail of $1 million, with the condition that he must report to the Sudhi police station every Friday until trial. The case was adjourned to October 30th for the disclosure of statements. Prasad faced charges of dangerous driving under Section 36(1) of the same act. He also pleaded not guilty and was granted bail of $300,000, with a condition to report to the Anna Regina police station on the last Friday of every month until the trial concludes. His case was similarly adjourned to October 30th for statement disclosures. Reports from the time of the accident indicate that Backus was driving motor lorry GNN 4987 when he collided with an excavator track loaded on motor lorry JJ 2185, driven by Suku. The impact caused Backus to lose control and crash into another truck bearing trade plate BMI 2, driven by Prasad. Backus sustained severe injuries and was pronounced dead upon arrival at the Sudhi Public Hospital. His father, Ravi Backus, alleged that the low-bed truck carrying the excavator was improperly positioned, with tracks hanging off the side of the trailer. He also claimed that both trucks were speeding and using blinding lights, which may have impaired his son's vision. Following the accident, both Suku and Prasad were taken into custody as police conducted a thorough investigation into the circumstances leading to the fatal crash. The case remains before the Anna Regina Magistrates Court as the 2 accused await trial. Nurse accused of threatening 12-year-old granted bail. iNews Guyana reports Tiffany Adams, a 33-year-old nurse, was granted bail on Friday after appearing before Chief Magistrate A.G. Faith McGusty at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. She faced a charge of threatening behavior towards a 12-year-old girl. Employed by the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security as a caretaker for the elderly at the Palms in Georgetown, Adams pleaded not guilty to the charge. The incident allegedly took place on September 20th at Campbellville Housing Scheme. The prosecution stated that the case originated from a report made by the mother of the minor, who claimed that while her daughter was in Adams' care, the nurse frequently threatened the children in the home. When given the opportunity to address the court, the mother explained that her daughter had repeatedly complained about being threatened by Adams. She mentioned that the 2 families live on the same property and that their relationship had been strained for some time, leading to constant disputes. The mother also alleged that Adams physically assaulted her children and claimed that on one occasion, the nurse stabbed her child in the foot with a knife. Adams' attorney, Earl Daniels, presented a different account of the events, requesting bail on her behalf. He stated that Adams had been performing her duties as the caretaker for the children's grandmother. Daniels argued that the grandmother's health had deteriorated due to the behavior of the children, which allegedly caused ongoing tension in the household. The court was informed that the mother had already moved out of the shared premises with her belongings and children to avoid further confrontation. After considering both sides, Magistrate McGusty placed Adams on a bond to keep the peace and granted her $20,000 bail. The matter is scheduled for adjournment on October 17th. Access road to Barrett Jagdeo Demerara River Bridge to be completed in 2 weeks. Minister of Public Works, Juan Edgehill, announced that the western access road leading to the new $262 million Barrett-Jagdeo-Demerara River Bridge is expected to be completed within 2 weeks. This development aims to alleviate traffic congestion on the bridge's West Bank approach. During a press conference addressing recent traffic buildup at the bridge's western end, Minister Edgehill attributed the delays to uncertainty among drivers navigating the new access routes. He reassured the public that traffic flow would stabilize as motorists become accustomed to the new system and the final roadworks are completed. "We are confident that within 2 weeks, the approach road on the west side will be completed, allowing for a smoother and more efficient flow of traffic," he stated. Additionally, the minister announced that traffic from the Wales area will now be required to use the roundabout fully to access the bridge. This measure is intended to improve traffic discipline and reduce confusion among road users approaching from multiple directions. Edgehill clarified that there will be no lane closures on either side of the new bridge during peak hours. The bridge's design allows for a continuous 4-lane flow of traffic, eliminating the need for alternating closures that were common with the old Demerara Harbor Bridge. The new 50-meter fixed high-span cable-stayed Barrett-Jagdeo-Demerara River Bridge is a 4-lane, 2.6-kilometer concrete structure featuring a cycle/pedestrian lane. It connects Nandi Park on the east bank of Demerara, EBD, to La Grange on the west bank of Demerara, WBD. With a lifespan of 100 years, the bridge was constructed by China Railway Construction International Limited, with Polytechnica serving as the supervisory consultant. It will operate toll-free 24/7, with a maximum speed limit of 80 kilometers per hour. Edgehill urges caution to avoid traffic buildup at Barrett-Jagdeo-Demerara River Bridge. Minister of Public Works, Juan Edgehill, is urging drivers using the new Barrett-Jagdeo-Demerara River Bridge to exercise caution and consideration to prevent traffic congestion. At a press conference, he noted that the recent traffic buildup at the bridge's western end may have resulted from driver uncertainty. Edgehill emphasized the importance of responsible road usage and asked for patience as the new bridge becomes fully operational. He reassured the public that the incomplete approach road will be finished in a few weeks and announced that West Bank traffic from the Wales area must fully utilize the roundabout to access the bridge. Importantly, he stated that no lanes will be closed during peak hours, as the 4-lane bridge can accommodate traffic without interruptions. Edgehill highlighted issues with incorrect roundabout usage, urging drivers to follow traffic rules and speed limits. Police will observe traffic flow but will not manage it directly at roundabouts. Traffic Chief, Assistant Commissioner Mahendra Singh, also called for caution and warned of consequences for drivers who obstruct traffic flow. Route 42 drivers picket for fare increase after 10 years. News source Guyana reports bus operators on the Georgetown-Timehri route staged a picket this morning, demanding an increase in fares, which have remained unchanged for over a decade. The current fare is $260, but drivers argue that rising living costs and vehicle parts have made this rate unsustainable. Ian Benjamin Norton, a bus driver and father of 8, stated that the poor condition of the roads has led to traffic congestion and fewer trips. He argued that the current fare does not cover operational costs, making it impossible for drivers to sustain their families. Norton proposed raising the fare to $500 or more, citing the need for a significant adjustment. Another driver, Shamar Adams, echoed this sentiment, noting that other routes have seen fare increases while theirs has stagnated. John Walker, a bus conductor, highlighted the disparity, pointing out that the fare from Georgetown to Purika has increased from $300 to $600, while the Timehri fare has only gone up by $20 in the same period. The operators are also requesting zoning for buses on the Georgetown-Timehri route and have called on Minister of Home Affairs Wanij Waldron to intervene. Last week, the Guyana police force reiterated the existing fare structures, urging drivers to adhere to them. Stewartville teen dies from chop wound autopsy confirms. An autopsy has confirmed that 15-year-old Sudesh Singh, a resident of Stewartville, West Coast Demerara, died from a chop wound. The examination was conducted by government pathologist Dr. Nihal Singh at the Ezekiel Funeral Home on Monday morning, with the cause of death listed as an incised wound. The incident occurred on Friday when Singh was reportedly attacked by his 50-year-old stepfather. The altercation began over a misunderstanding involving the stepfather's bicycle, which Singh had used, causing the chain to slip. After a heated argument, the stepfather allegedly retrieved a cutlass from the kitchen and struck Singh in the neck, leading to fatal injuries. Following the incident, the stepfather left the scene and reported the matter at the Leonora police station. He has since been arrested and is in custody pending further investigation. Hill footman jailed for killing reputed wife. iNews Guyana reports Jason Kelman, a 47-year-old resident of Hill Foot, Soesdijk-Linden Highway, has been sentenced to 16 years and 8 months in prison for the manslaughter of his reputed wife, Umudai Samantha Lal, following a violent domestic incident in December 2022. Initially charged with murder, Kelman pleaded guilty to the lesser offense of manslaughter before Justice Samila Alisipal in the High Court in Demerara. The judge imposed a base sentence of 25 years but reduced it by 1/3 in recognition of Kelman's guilty plea. No further deductions were granted, as aggravating and mitigating factors were considered to offset each other. The prosecution, led by State Counsel Nelissa Peterkin, highlighted the gravity of the offense and its devastating impact on Lal's family. According to the case, the fatal incident occurred between December 1st and 2nd, 2022, at the couple's residence. Witness Ralston Melville, who lived in the same building, testified that he heard Kelman assaulting Lal on the night of December 1st. The next morning, Kelman contacted Lal's brother, claiming she was unresponsive. Lal was taken to the hospital, where she was pronounced dead. A police detective testified that Kelman admitted to fighting with Lal, stating that he had hit her a few times after accusing her of drinking alcohol in front of their young child. The confrontation escalated after Kelman returned home to find the house in disarray. A post-mortem examination revealed that Lal suffered multiple blunt trauma injuries to her head and chest, with the cause of death being hemorrhage and shock. Prosecutors argued that the attack was unprovoked and criticized Kelman's failure to seek immediate medical assistance, describing it as showing a callous disregard for human life. Victim impact statements from Lal's relatives conveyed the deep emotional scars left by her death. Her eldest daughter, Kulwanti Munalal, expressed the ongoing pain of losing her mother, while Lal's sister, Mahadai, lamented that Lal's young child would grow up without knowing her. The prosecution emphasized the seriousness of domestic violence, urging the court to impose a sentence reflecting the gravity of the crime and serving as a deterrent. They cited legal precedents that support stringent punishment for violent acts. Kelman's pre-sentence report indicated that he had been a self-employed welder and fabricator, supporting 3 children. He was described as generally quiet and respectful during incarceration, participating in educational and religious programs. In court, Kelman expressed remorse and embarrassment over the killing, apologizing to Lal's relatives and asking for forgiveness. Justice Alisipal acknowledged Kelman's remorse but stressed that the crime represented a severe breach of trust within a domestic context. She stated that the sentence was not only punitive but also a message of deterrence against domestic violence. Kelman will serve 16 years and 8 months in prison, a ruling that reflects both justice for Lal and society's ongoing fight against domestic abuse.